Cooking with Nunu, cooking with cooking with Nunu, cooking with cooking with Nunu, cooking with Nunu, cooking with Nunu, cooking with cooking with Nunu, cooking with cooking with Nunu, cooking with. If you wanna cook, let's go to work. Hey, let's go to work. Hey, you wanna cook? Cooking with Nunu, 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 cooking with cooking with Nunu, cooking with cooking with Nunu, cooking with. If you wanna cook, let's go to work. Hey, let's go to work. Hey, let's go to work. What's good, y'all? This is Cooking with Nunu. I'm your host, Aaron, and today I got a guest called
Dasia Ma.
and we here cooking. What we making today?
Today we're making salmon. He's gonna be making what kind of salmon?
Crispy. What is it called? What is it called? Spicy chili crispy salmon. That's what I'm gonna be making.
And I'm gonna be making jerk salmon.
All right. Tell us a little bit about yourself though, while we gonna be cooking and stuff.
My name is Dasia. I'm from Brooklyn. I'm an entrepreneur.
Okay.
I started off selling self-protection weapons. Down the line, I transitioned to many different hustles. I done sold banana pudding. I done sold hair oil.
Okay.
I done sold clothes. You might have heard of the fashion vault. It was very big during the pandemic. Right now, I'm focusing on my hair oil, Coella, and it's going to be big once it comes out.
So what made you are you still doing the fashion vault?
I'm kind of in the process of wholesaling the fashion vault items. It's
Okay.
something that I've outgrown and I want to put my focus onto other things.
Okay. So about the hair oil, what does your product give to your consumers? Like, what is your product for?
It's a moisturizing hair oil. It helps your hair grow at a faster pace
Okay.
compared to other companies, I would say.
Mm-hmm.
I would say mine's is the best. I
Okay.
mean, the results is you'll see for yourself.
Mm-hmm. So, have you been selling it? Like, what's going on with it?
Yeah, I've been selling it. Customers are giving me a bunch of good reviews.
Okay.
Everyone is loving it so far.
Mm-hmm.
Even babies are using it, and parents are sending me pictures of before and after, and you definitely see the difference. And it's like, I can't brag about it and not have the proof.
Mm-hmm.
The pictures are the proof.
So, what made you want to start a hair oil company?
Well, my daughter, when she was born, she suffered cradle cap, like a lot of kids do.
Suffer what?
Cradle cap.
Okay. What is that?
It's like when your hair dries up, the scalp is dry, it pulls the baby's hair out.
Okay.
So I created it to help with that because once she went through that, she had a lot of missing hair.
Okay.
And we couldn't have her out here like that.
So that's what made you start the lineup.
Yes.
So who was the first person you tested on, yourself or her?
I tested it on myself. I couldn't test it on her first.
Okay.
Suppose something go wrong.
True. Things go bad, right?
Yeah.
So what was your biggest fear on having a baby?
My biggest fear about having kids or having a baby, I was scared about not being able to live my life how I usually live it.
Okay.
As far as traveling, as far as just being able to get up and go as I please. I was like, I didn't know how that was going to be because I see a lot of parents, they can't live their life anymore. They don't have that support.
Mm-hmm. So now that you have a baby, how is it? Is it what you thought like it would be? Hard?
I wouldn't say it's hard, but there are definitely challenges.
Like far as what? Tell us some.
Hold on. Let me get a spoon.
Tell us some challenges that you face being a first time mom.
Being a first time mom, it's like you have to face the challenges of everyone trying to give advice. I mean, of course they mean well, but it's like sometimes it can be overwhelming. But besides that, it's a lot I have to learn, and sometimes I don't know the answers. So I find myself going to the internet a lot. But
so you rather like, does the internet help you a lot?
I wouldn't
Like
say
far
that
as
the
being a mother?
internet. I wouldn't say the internet helps me a lot, but for the things that I don't know, it definitely comes in handy sometimes.
Okay. What social media platforms that you go to get information?
Definitely TikTok. You know, everyone
TikTok?
uses TikTok nowadays. So I go to TikTok a
Yeah,
lot.
I agree.
And it's like the most up to date information with the most up to date products that we use nowadays.
Okay. How did you prep your mental to becoming a mom? Like how did like what was the talks you gave yourself as you was pregnant?
You're getting old. It's time to do this. Like, it's time to get this ball on the roll. Like,
Mm-hmm.
but as far as I was ready, because
So
for a
you
long
wasn't
time,
nervous?
no, I wasn't
Oh,
nervous.
snap.
I wasn't
That's good.
nervous at all because I knew eventually I wanted to be a mother. I just wasn't in a rush to do it before I was done living my life.
Okay.
So I wanted to live my life first
Mm-hmm.
and then become a mother because, you know, like I said, people they can't live their life sometimes once they have
Mm-hmm.
kids if they don't have the right support system.
I get you. So what are some of the things that you learned while being a mother that you could help others with?
A piece of advice I would give mothers, like when I first had my baby, I didn't know what she was gonna go through as far as like illness.
Mm-hmm.
So I basically stocked up on anything you can imagine: cold medicine, allergy medicine, pain medicine, because you just never know.
Mm-hmm.
So I would say like stay ready so you don't have to get ready.
Oh, that's a good thing. Me being a father, I agree. I agree with that. Like, but my first time having my son, I'm not even gonna lie. I was a little bit nervous. Like, I was a little bit
What
nervous.
advice would you give people?
What advice would I give someone? Just do it. There's no age limit on it. It don't matter how old you are, how young you are.
Hmm.
Just do it. Like, take your time. If you with your partner and they ready, and sometimes your partner don't even have to be ready, but you so dedicated to the idea of it
Hmm.
that you ready to just like learn. So go for it. That's what I tell them. Like just go for it.
Okay,
It's a
okay.
blessing. You're like your kid is your biggest blessing. Ain't no like I don't know what to say, man. That's genuine love. Like that love that you get from your kid is like is unmatched. You never getting that again. Not even from your partner. Like your partner can't even give you that.
Yeah.
So how's you balancing being a mom and being a like just you? Like your regular
I mean,
life and your mom life. How you balancing it?
right now it's still the beginning, so I'm still learning how to balance it. I'm still trying to figure out how to be a mom and be me. Like
Mm-hmm.
you got to learn how to separate them because if you don't, you just become one, and sometimes it's just like you don't feel like yourself because you feel like all you're doing is being a mom.
Mm-hmm.
So it could definitely be tough at times, but once you get the hang of it,
Mm-hmm.
it becomes way easier.
Oh, that's good though. That's good. So how is it about being a girlfriend and a mom?
Being a girlfriend and a mom is tough in the beginning because the baby is young, the baby is little, baby has a lot of needs and wants. So
Mm-hmm.
you're mainly catering to the baby, and the baby is new, so you're giving the baby so much attention, and it's at times that your partner is
Mm-hmm.
like, "Hey, what about me?" So you have to remember to like give your partner attention as well as the baby,
Mm-hmm.
and to like set up date nights and to not like be fully consumed and like just catering to the baby.
Mm-hmm. So how did you balance that? Like how did you balance that? What you got some ideas over TikTok, or you watch your parents like go through it? Like how did you balance that? Being in a relationship and being a first time mom. Like what is some tips
Honestly,
you can give somebody? What's some tips you can give somebody? Well, you just obviously said it, but what's
yeah.
some more tips you can give somebody?
For
You
the
said it.
most part, I just winged it.
Mm-hmm.
And I would say just have a good support system. It takes a village, and honestly, it takes a village because without my village,
Mm-hmm.
a lot wouldn't be possible. I wouldn't be able to go on trips. I wouldn't be able to do date night. So if you have that village, definitely
Utilize
appreciate
it.
them. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
utilize it and appreciate them, and don't take them for granted because a lot of people don't have it, and a lot of people need it.
I agree. I agree. I agree. Because it definitely takes a village to raise a kid, and
Yeah.
that's the when you don't got that village, you how could I say it? You somewhat be mad at the little bit of people that you do have.
Yeah, because it's like, why aren't you getting this baby more? Why aren't
Right.
you helping
Right.
more? But at the end of the day, no one's entitled to help you with your baby, but you
Correct.
still feel that way because people know how it is that have kids. Like,
Mm-hmm.
you need a break sometimes. Like you go through postpartum sometimes. It's a lot that goes into motherhood.
It does, and I hate those people that tell you to have the baby, and then when you have the baby,
They're
it's like
not there.
they not
They
there.
don't
They don't.
babysit. They don't check in.
Uh.
They're just ghosts. It's like they're there during the pregnancy.
Mm.
Oh, you look so cute. Let me rub your stomach. Ah, la. They become ghosts, crickets. You don't
So
hear
how did you
nothing.
deal with that? Like people well, we can call it fake. People being fake. How did you deal with that? Like, did you
From
cut them off? Like,
nah, I didn't cut them off because, like I said, no one's entitled because
mhm,
I've seen it happen with my sister, so
mhm.
I knew what to expect. I knew it was gonna happen eventually, so I just mentally prepared myself for it.
And I ain't gonna lie, that's what you gotta do. You gotta mentally
You
prepare
gotta do.
yourself for stuff like this, because you will cut your family off. You will feel
Yeah,
like,
you'll find yourself getting attitudes with them for
yeah,
no
like,
reason.
and you will just be like, you know what, F family. Like, they ain't helping
Mhm.
me with something that I would have helped them with, or I did help them with. It's like, it's F
Mhm.
them.
Yeah.
And I don't think it's a bad thing though. I don't think it, because you like, they be like, oh, why your kid ain't reach out to me? No, why you ain't reach out to the kid?
No,
This is the
seriously.
kid. Like, this is still a kid, so I feel like you should reach out to them. And how's your village helping you out? Like,
My village, they come through in clutch.
okay.
Definitely come through in clutch. I would say my sister, my number one villager.
Hmm.
My sister, she came through when I first had my daughter. She would take her for the weekends. She would just give me so many breaks. As soon as I say I'm tired, I'm coming to get her. Drop her off. Beautiful. My village, my cousin my cousin Nadine. When it was time for me to go back to work, she would watch my baby.
That's good. Did you?
And I didn't have to do childcare for a long time.
Oh, that's dope. That's dope. That's dope. What about postpartum? Did you deal with that?
Being that I had such an amazing village, I really didn't go through postpartum in the beginning
Hmm.
because it's like I always had breaks and people was just always there for me, like checking in on me, making sure I was okay mentally, making sure I was okay financially. You need anything, baby? Need
Hmm.
anything? I just had a lot of support.
What was your biggest worries about labor and delivery?
Well, it was kind of scary because at that time we had just went through something
Hmm.
where a female passed away due to getting a C-section at Woodhull Hospital. Such a sad thing to witness, especially being pregnant.
Hmm.
So that was my main concern. I didn't want to have to get a C-section. I just wanted to have to push her out naturally. But unfortunately, that didn't happen.
What, you did have a C-section?
Yes.
And how was that process?
I cried when they told me. I cried when they told me I had to get a C-section. I broke down and cried because I feel like they tell everyone you have to get a C-section.
Hmm.
Even when you don't, they scare you. Oh, your baby heart rate is dropping. Oh, you have to get emergency C-section, or you just don't know what to believe. But you're gonna trust your doctor because they're the doctor.
Hmm.
But I was scared, but by the grace of God, everything worked
Everything
out.
came out good.
Everything worked out good.
So how do you deal with, like, how do you deal with your body now that you had a C-section? Like, what changed for you?
With C-sections, it comes with the scar. When you
Hmm.
first get the C-section, you got to deal with the healing of it. You have to be very careful. You can't bend, can't lift anything heavy.
Hmm.
So you have to be really careful. That wasn't really too much of an issue. I thank goodness I had a good recovery. Some people have way worse recoveries,
Hmm.
but I had a good one. And as far as like my body changing,
Hmm.
I would just say my body's still the same. It's just I have like a little mom pouch now that comes with the C-section most of the time. But
Hmm.
I'm sure once I get in the gym and stop
It'll be
procrastinating,
good.
it'll be good.
So how did being a
Goodness.
mother help with your business? Like, how did you incorporate being a mother with your business? Like, how did that go? Like, how did that coexist?
Well, my baby was my model
Hmm.
for my hair oil line. So once they see the proof is in the pudding, it made my orders start coming in so fast.
Okay. And what, like, how much is it? Like, the oils? Could
One
they get about
second.
a pint? Like, how could they get the oils?
1 second. So my oil, I don't want to touch the oil right now with my gloves because I'm cooking,
Hmm.
but it comes in a bottle. The bottle is $20 per bottle.
Hmm.
Shipping is about $7 or so. It depends on how many bottles you buy. If you buy more, it's gonna be more for shipping.
Hmm.
But it comes by the bottle. You can get it by a bigger bottle if you request it, but for the most part, it comes by an 8-ounce bottle.
Okay. And where could they order this oil at?
You can contact me on my Instagram, Dasia Dasia
Okay.
VU, and you could just place the order there because my website, my Instagram is under construction right now. So once that get up and running, I'll post it there.
So what other things would you bring for, like, hair care?
So far, I'm in the works of trying to test out shampoos,
Mhm.
conditioners, see what else I have to offer the world because I want this Coella. It's going to be Coella and Co. Coella and Company. I
Mhm.
want it to be a popular African American hairline.
Okay. Okay. That's dope. That's dope. So what's some of the things you want to tell the world about yourself that you
I'm a
think they should know?
hustler.
Okay.
I'm a hustler. One thing about me, I don't stand behind anything that I wouldn't wear, I wouldn't use. So if I'm
Mhm.
selling it, it's good.
It's top of
It's
the
gonna be
line.
worth the money, and you're gonna be satisfied.
Okay, that's good. That's good. So when you said when you started it, it was for your daughter, right?
Yes,
All right. So now it's for everybody.
yes, for
Now it's
everyone,
for everybody. It's for men, women.
men, women, babies, everyone.
Oh, that's
Probably
dope.
pets too.
Probably pets too, but you ain't tested yet.
No, that's just there. Don't
All
try
right,
that.
all right. Don't
Don't
try
try
that
that
at home.
home.
So where did you learn your cooking skills from?
Honestly, y'all gonna laugh, but I learned from YouTube. This
For
was
real?
before TikTok came out. My cousin Philly Boy J, my favorite YouTube channel.
You
I
still
learned
look at him
everything
to
from
this
him.
day?
No, I don't know where he's at. He just disappeared off social media.
Oh man, did you so you wasn't in the kitchen with your mother?
No, not really. My mother was like really cautious. She didn't really like want us in the kitchen. She was so scared of us getting burned, getting hurt.
Hmm.
She didn't really play that. So she just like really catered to us.
So it's not one thing that you'd be like, "Oh, all right, my
But
mother made
it
this.
was
I loved it, and I'm gonna
sad.
do it."
So nah, not really. My mother can make a lot of good food, but I just do things my own way
Okay. So what
because
is
I
one
eat
of
different
your
than her.
favorite things that your mom's made for you, and you just love that? Like you always want her to make it.
I love my mother barbecue chicken, my mother turkey wings. My mother gets down. She doesn't play, like for real.
So what? We starting a
So,
catering business or what? Like what's coming next?
we can do that. You know, the family always in talks of the restaurant because my family throw down. If you come to an event, you're gonna see.
What's some of the good food they be making?
But everyone has their specialty, what they're good at.
Name 5 people with one dish, the top
And
dish
see, I
that you
use a
always go
lot. I
to.
use a lot of chicken broth. And I don't really like using water and stuff. Need more flavor. What you say?
I said name 5 people with a top one dish that you always go to them for.
My cousin Kim, she got her candy yams. My mom has her barbecue chicken, her turkey wings. My cousin Keisha, she does everything. My
One
cousin,
thing though. We
my
need one
cousin
thing from her.
Kawana,
We
she
need
gonna.
one thing
My
from her.
cousin Kawana, my cousin, it's everything. It's not one thing.
All
My
right,
cousin
all right.
Kawana, she gonna bring the ice and the drinks. No, I'm just saying Kawana do a little pasta. And
One
who
more.
else?
One more.
Let me
You ain't
see.
say no males. One more.
My cousin Akeem, he do a good salmon. He do a good salmon. I ain't gonna lie. He
Okay,
get busy.
okay, okay.
All right.
What is it? 10 out of 10?
10 out of 10.
Okay.
10 out of 10.
All
I say that.
right. So shout out to him.
All right. So you
I know we ain't really get into you being a condo owner, but let's jump into that. Like, what was the idea for you to go buy a condo?
Well, I always wanted a condo. I always wanted to own property. I always wanted to have something to pass down to my children in the future. So
Mm-hmm.
that was the whole thing. Like I wanted to have a generational wealth. Like a lot of people in my family don't really own property, so I wanted to be like one of the first to.
To do it,
Yeah.
but where that mindset come from? Like, not like seeing your parent. Oh, did your parents own property? Let me jump into that.
My dad, he owned the house in North Carolina. That man, he's my motivation.
Okay.
Back when nobody even had water beds, he had a water bed.
Mm.
He had the flash screen TVs. He had the horses in the background, the chicken coops, the cows in the front. Like he had all of that. So when I grew up, I'm like, I want something like that.
Okay.
This is just a stepping stone for now.
So basically, you learn from him.
Yeah.
So tell us a little bit about him. Tell us a little bit about him.
My dad was a hustler. He was a getting money person. Like if you know my father Shorty from Coney Island, you know he was about his money.
Okay. So that was the. What about his upbringing? Like, what's one thing that you seen or what you heard from him that shaped you today? Like,
He just always told me whatever I want to do, I could do it. He put that in my head. It's nothing that you can't do. The sky's the limit. And I feel like every parent should put that in their kid's head.
that's a fact. I agree with that. I agree with that. So that's why you're here today and you own Your first property,
Yes, my first
but it won't be
property.
your last.
Won't be my last.
All right. So what would like if somebody want to own a property? What is some of the first steps they should do?
The first step they should do, they should contact a lender.
Mm-hmm.
They're gonna contact the lender, make sure that they have like enough money to even purchase certain properties before they just jump into it thinking that they can afford anything.
Okay.
And then they wind up in debt because they didn't contact a lender who told them like, no, you can't get this because you're not like making enough money for it.
Yeah, you're not qualified.
Yeah.
So, did you mess up? Like, did you mess up any steps going towards like purchasing this condo?
I would say I didn't really mess up, but I would say my real estate agent wasn't as good as she could have been because
Mm-hmm.
I was the first time home buyer.
Mm-hmm.
So I didn't know a lot. I came into this like not really being knowledgeable, but it's a lot of things she could have told me that she didn't tell me. But you gotta understand, they're working for their commission, so they're not really gonna tell you too much. You have to come in knowing stuff.
So just give us one idea, one thing that you learned after you purchased your condo.
Let me see. One thing I learned, you definitely can negotiate in your closing costs. Like I didn't know that, so I just accepted everything they told me to pay. Everything they told me to pay, I just paid it. I didn't negotiate nothing.
Mm-hmm.
I would say another thing, make sure you have a good inspector. Make sure they don't miss anything. And if they do, make sure you contact them right away.
Okay, that's good. Being a homeowner, right?
Mm-hmm.
What perks do it bring?
Basically, you're not putting money in nobody else's pocket. That's one of my biggest things. Like I felt like when I was renting, I was just making somebody else more rich, making somebody else more further in life. Why do that when you could do it for yourself?
That's a fact. That's a fact. I agree. So what is the plan? Like to pass it down to your child? Like what is the plan?
Definitely. For the plan for this is actually I'm gonna live here a little while. Then eventually I'm gonna turn this into an Airbnb.
Mm-hmm.
Once I turn this into an Airbnb, we're gonna do that for a little while, and then we're gonna use the revenue from that
Mm-hmm.
purchase more.
Yeah, that's
No.
dope. That's dope. So have you been looking at the Airbnb market? Like, is it going up or is it going down? Like, how is it? Like, or you just going to jump into it?
I'm just gonna jump into it. I'm gonna pretty much wing it. Like
Mm-hmm.
I'm not gonna follow what anyone else is doing.
Okay.
But you still gotta go with what's the areas, like how much they charging in this area.
Mm-hmm.
So if they charging $150 per night, you can't say I'm charging 300. You
Mhm.
can't do that. So I'm
Okay.
gonna charge a
Okay.
decent amount.
So what is it about Airbnb that you feel like, you know what, I should go that way?
With this property, it's a good property because it attracts a lot of tourists, and it's a building that comes straight here from Times Square, 42nd Street. So it comes straight to the front of the building. If you want to go to Times Square, you could go to the bus straight outside.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have to take the transit. You just hop on a bus and go straight there. And I think a lot of tourists would like that because a lot of them get confused on how to travel in our train system.
Okay. Okay. I agree. I agree with that. I think
So they'll eat that up.
I agree. I feel like if they could come here, right, and then go to Times Square in a blink of an eye, they'll be happy.
That's
about
where
that.
everyone that comes to New York, that's where they want to go, to Times Square. So
Yep.
as soon as they see that, eyes lighten up. Like, ooh, yeah, we're gonna go here. We're gonna get this one.
So how long was you a homeowner?
I've been a homeowner since 2021.
Okay. Okay. So
Going on 4 years now.
and tell us one thing that just always tap into your pockets. Like you always got to turn around and pay that shit. Like what's the one thing?
Electricity.
Electricity.
Electricity. When you own a home, most of the time everything's gonna be electric. Oh my god! In the wintertime, you got you got to prepare yourself for the winter because you're running that heat. You're cooking. It's just your electricity bill is gonna be sky high. Also, another thing is they don't really tell you that your mortgage is not always gonna be set. Like it depends on taxes. If that fluctuates, your mortgage price is gonna fluctuate. So you just gotta be really knowledgeable when you come into this.
Okay. And like you said, you wasn't knowledgeable.
No,
right?
I wasn't, but I had to learn.
So you learn by your mistakes, basically.
Yeah.
So going forward, do you think you're gonna run into any more mistakes, or you'll be well?
I will hope not. I will hope that I don't run into any more mistakes because it's like every mistake costs you. Every mistake in the long run is gonna cost you, and you're gonna wish that you knew what you were doing when you first came into it.
Mm-hmm.
So
you feel like you well seasoned for B&B, or you just got to do your homework and then go towards it?
Yeah, I just got to do my homework and just jump into it. Like, I mean, it's people that I can talk to get advice from,
Mm-hmm.
but for the most part, I think I pretty much have an idea
That's
of
good.
how
That's good.
things should be.
So, how could I say this? Well, you already said it, right? You rather own than rent.
Hmm.
Where does that mindset come in? Does that come in from your father, like seeing him owning property and owning things,
No,
or
that
like?
comes from basically when you live somewhere, you want to have certain kind of neighbors. So when you're living in an apartment building, you have people that don't care about things because when things break, they can run to the super, they can run into like people that's gonna handle it. When you own property, people take better care of things. So
Mm-hmm.
you know you're gonna have better neighbors.
Okay.
So that's where it came from. And when I was living in Brooklyn, I had some of the worst neighbors. Kids playing basketball, thinking they on the court,
Uh huh.
and they in the house. It was just horrible. Playing in the hallway. I'm not here for
So that's
that.
what made you not want to raise your daughter up in that same environment.
Yes.
And like, what's some of the things that, just name like two things that turned you off? Like, yo, you know what? I don't even want to raise my child here, and I don't even want to be here.
The crime. The
The
crime
crime.
rate definitely is number one.
Mm-hmm.
And number two, the school systems.
Okay. So you feel like wherever you at today, the school system and the crime rate is low, and the school systems is amazing.
I wouldn't say the school system is amazing, but it's better than where I came from. So it's like step.
Mm-hmm. The steps.
Mhm.
So what's next for you besides the B&B? What's next?
Besides the hair oil, besides the
Mm-hmm.
B&B,
Besides the
um,
fashion vault.
besides the fashion vault,
Okay.
yeah, besides
Uh,
it. Basically, I'm just working on getting into the real estate market,
mm-hmm.
becoming landlord, and basically having passive income. That's the goal,
That's some New Yorker hustle, right?
of course.
That's where we come from. So you working on the mashed potatoes right now, right?
Yeah,
All right, we almost done.
yeah, we almost done.
All right, we almost done,
You
and
know,
then we just gonna jump right into it, right?
Hello, today I'm gonna be rating my aunt's food and my father's food to compare who cooks best. This is a 7 out of 10. This is mashed potatoes, a 2 out of 10. This is a 6 out of 10.